Hello, welcome. This is the living room. This is where I chill out for most of the day. So your candles are on. Yeah, make sure you zoom in on them candles. They're brilliant. This is the kitchen area, and then you got the special view of Bristol. If you can see, it's dark outside, but it's not a bad view to wake up to in the morning. Can't forget the big picture. Jordan Hall, make sure you get that in. Great photo. I am a tea man at home. When I'm out, I tend to have a coffee. It's just 'cause it's easier while I'm out. But when I'm home, I prefer to have a cup of tea, definitely. I teabag in sugar, only one sugar because healthy and that, don't have too much. Then hot water. And then you got to let it soak in. So after, leave it in there for a little bit. And then I use cashew milk, not normal milk, because normal.
How did that go?
Oh my god, I can't believe I've just done that. It's trying to talk and make a brew at the same time.
It's difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult. Take two, pour the milk in. Stir it in. And that is how you make fantastic brew. If you ask me, any other ways are wrong. Don't let anybody tell you different. Yeah, it's a brilliant location for me. I think it's got everything I need around this area. You know, I don't have to walk too far to get whatever I need, really. So yeah, I love the location. I lived in Portishead for about a year and a half. And then I moved here because it was kind of a little bit too far out of the city. Now I was living on my own. I used to go into Cabot Circus quite a bit, so it could take like 35, 40 minutes sometimes to get there and then get back as well, which is annoying. So I ended up moving to here, and this is like, you know, it's perfect. I won't move out of here. So I'll get up probably around about 8 o'clock. I'll get out of bed and then leave here probably about 20 to 9. Takes me into training for 10 to 9 and then finish training. Well, it depends what time really. And then I tend to just come home and relax really. Depends what's happening, whether the boys are doing anything or whether the missus is here, whether we go out or whether I just chill.
The squad are really well gelled and they seem to get along really well, but you, Callum, Taylor, Sammy, you seem to be like the four that are really quite tight-knit.
Yeah, I think because we're quite similar age, we've got a lot of things in common as well. That's why we get on. It was me, Callum and Taylor have been here for the longest amount of time. We've been here for like it's our fourth season now. So we're really close anyway, and obviously Sammy's joined in the summer, but he's fitted right in with the group and, you know, especially with us as well. You know, obviously banter at the club with who's got the best roomie, and I can safely say that Callum is the best roomie at the club. No, it's a good laugh. You know, as a team we get together and play like a card game and stuff. Pretty much every away game we play a game called Wolf, which is a really addicting game. There's probably about 10 of us that would normally play it.
So you've touched on Callum, Taylor and Sammy living nearby, but I believe you've had some previous interesting neighbours?
Yes, I have actually. Yeah, I've had quite a few neighbours actually. From Jens Hegeler, he lived the door. So you open my front door, and you literally walk 2 steps, and the other apartment there is where Jens lived. Jens lived in it, and Thomas lived in there for not long, and now Jay's in there. So I think, but I'm getting quite worried because I feel like it must be me that everybody keeps moving out. So I don't know whether it's because of my music or whether I shout or whatever. But yeah, Jay lives there now, so yeah, every now and again he'll just waltz into my apartment, not knowing what I'm doing, and just come and chat. Yeah.
Did you ever used to share lifts into training with Jens, Thomas, or do you ever do it now with Jay?
Not really. A bit with Jens. Every now and again we'd share a lift. Obviously with Thomas, who'd been here a month. I don't think he wanted to invite me into his cars. Probably mess up his cars. He's got nice cars, so he probably didn't want to invite me in. And Jay, I think a couple of times I've given him a lift or he's given me a lift. Yeah.
And if you ever run out of milk for your cup of tea while you're at home, do you head over to Jay's and see if he's got any almond milk?
He definitely won't have any almond milk. I did that with Jens. Anything I needed that I haven't got in, I'd just waltz in, just take whatever I wanted really.
And you're quite central to Bristol in terms of location, so eating out is quite easy for you. Is there anywhere in particular you like to go? Any foods that you enjoy the most?
Yeah, it's quite easy to. I walk downstairs, as you know, the cargoes are downstairs, so it's really nice to eat. I like to go to Wakiko. That's probably my favourite place, to be honest, which is right down below. But I do tend to cook a lot in, to be fair. I try and limit myself going out and eating out. But when I do eat out, it just makes it up really. Go wherever. Florist is nice as well. Going to Cabot. Restaurants there are quite easy. I've jumped on the bandwagon with everybody who's talking about being vegan and vegetarian. I watched a programme like everybody else, a couple of programmes about it, and I thought I'd give it a go. I've not eaten meat probably for about 2 months, just over 2 months. So yeah, it's going really well. I enjoy not eating meat. You know, it's changing it up a little bit. So yeah, see how I go with this.
And outside of football, have you got any hobbies that you like to go and do?
Not really, no. A lot of people tend to play golf and stuff. I'm not really a big fan of golf. Outside of football, I don't really have too much of a hobby, to be honest. Probably PlayStation, you could probably say, is my hobby. Played Fortnite for a good couple of years, and FIFA, as everybody does. But the new Call of Duty's come out, so I've been trying that, and I tend to sway towards the Call of Duty way, as Fortnite for me has gone a little bit downhill since the recent update, which I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me. There's a good few of us that can play online together. I think Dan Bentley, Nathan Baker, Callum, Taylor, Sammy, obviously Marlon and Aidan and Pato used to play as well with Matty Taylor, so they were a good four. That used to come on. Max O'Leary as well. So there's quite a few of us that play together. Or some other people probably not allowed by the missus. Well, I'd probably say I'm the best in the team at all the games. No, there's a few good people. Yeah, I think Callum's good at FIFA, Fortnite, and Call of Duty. Sammy's good at FIFA. I've not played on him with Call of Duty yet. Fortnite, he's not great. Taylor Moore's probably the worst at all three, I'd probably say. Yeah, he's really bad, and I think he'd agree with me as well. Spare bedroom, and you got the Bristol City suitcase we take to every game, and then this is the master bedroom. It's not so master. Yeah, I got the famous picture of Hull away last minute. Let's keep it there to remind me of the good times in football. I think I was like 3.5, 4, 3.5 I would say, and I was walking on a park with my dad, and this is the story that he tells me, is that they were playing football and I was moaning every time we go near the park. I'd moan that I want to join in. My dad was like, you're too young. And then my dad knew the manager of local team, which was Broadheath. He knew the manager. So he said, son's moaning, can you just let him join in? And he's like, he can't, he's too young. He's like, just once and it'll shut him up. And he said that I joined in, and then after the session he said, you better bring him back. He's good. So I started when I was like 3.5, 4 really, with like 5-year-olds. And then when I was 6, I was at Man United and Man City at the same time, which was weird. But when it comes to like signing a little contract sort of thing, you could only sign for one. So I had to pick between Man United and Man City at the time, which was a big decision for me back then, obviously being a Man City fan. But I ended up going towards Man United, and I was there until 15. I was a striker up until I was about 13, I think. And then I think everybody grew and got bigger and stronger and quicker, and I probably wasn't the biggest or the strongest or the quickest at that age. I was when I was younger, but then I was quick, but when everybody grew up I wasn't. So then I dropped back into midfield, and then ever since then I've just been a midfielder.
And what were your first pair of boots?
My first pair of boots that I can remember, I think they're like a bright yellow Lotto boots, I think. I think there's a picture somewhere in when I was like 3 or 4, whatever it was, in a Man City kit, and I got my yellow boots on. Yeah, so I remember that. Yeah, I don't know where I've still got them. Probably still got them somewhere in the house. People don't realise how much you actually sacrifice when you're younger through growing up through school, because you know everybody wants to hang around together and socialise and stuff, and even like little parties around people's houses and stuff. And I'd always have a game on Saturday or Sunday, or midweek I'd have training, so I could never really do it. Even back then I was training 3-4 times a week and having a game, so it was it was quite difficult. But it's all I ever wanted to do was play football. So for me it was quite easy in a way of just going to play football and not hanging around with my friends. But as you grow a little bit older, obviously you make the bigger sacrifices through whether you're going out or staying up late or messing around a lot. You've got to sort of focus on football. So yeah, it was tough, but it was sort of easy at the same time.
Did you ever have any major setbacks? Any coaches tell you that you weren't quite good enough to make it to the next level?
My biggest setback was probably getting released at 15. The challenge of finding a new club was really hard for me. I went on trial at I think three or four clubs, and and they said I wasn't good enough, which to hear from them was not great at all. But I went to Preston North End, and they gave me a chance and gave me a scholarship, and I've never looked back since.
So I guess the message for all those young aspiring footballers watching is to believe in your dream, keep going, because one day it could come true. Yeah,
it's always, a lot of people would sort of give up after getting released by a team or 2 teams, and after 3 teams saying that you're not good enough, it's hard to carry on and be motivated to go and go and trial somewhere else and keep playing football. But I sort of did that with Preston North End. That was probably going into my last sort of chance, in a way that I was getting quite annoyed that I wasn't getting picked up, and I wanted to sort of like give it up. But no, they gave me a scholarship, and I've never looked back since. Great moment for me to sign for Bristol City. Obviously I was with the gaffer at Barnsley when he was there. I was there on loan for 4 months, and what he did with me there in the 4 months, improved me as a player in a short period of time. So it's a sort of no-brainer to come in for Bristol City. Obviously then coming and seeing how good the city is, and how big the club is, and what it means to the fans and the players that they had and stuff. It was a special moment signing for Bristol City.
And in recent weeks you've been wearing the captain's armband. How's that been?
Yeah, it's been a special moment for me. Obviously everybody when you grow up wants to be a captain and a leader for a team, and to wear it on the pitch while Bailey's been out injured and stuff is it's been a special moment for me and my family.
Something I always think of when I see you guys go into that huddle just before the kick-off is what's being said. Is it always you talking, or does everyone chip in with little bits?
It tends to normally be me talking. I think one game I let Jack Hunt take the speech just to mix it up a little bit. Probably bored of hearing my voice in the circle every game. But yeah, it's a good thing. I think it's the last little bit before going into the game that to psych everybody up. I think everybody chips in every now and again with a few words and a few phrases that they want to use.
And the coin toss, I believe you always stick with either a heads or tails. Which one is it?
I think the majority I go for tails that I can remember, just because for me it's just banter with Taylor Moore, say tails never fails for him. So I just tend to sort of go with tails. But sometimes it's not always heads and tails coin. They have like different coins every now and again, so that's sometimes confusing. Yeah. So
living in Bristol, your family are still up north. How have you found it being away from them? Are you getting used to it now?
Oh, I love it being away from my family. No, it was difficult at the beginning. Obviously, moving at 20 years of age was difficult. It's like 3.5 hours, 4 hours to get back on a good run. But I'm used to it now. Obviously, I've been here like 3-4 years now, so I love being away from my family sometimes. It's nice to have a bit of peace and quiet.
And they must be very proud of you.
Yeah, they are. Especially, I think, they're always proud, but for my dad, I think it means a lot for me. He played football when he was younger, so I think it's like living his dream through me, so I know how much it means to him.
And so far this season is going very well for you personally and for the team, sat in the playoff spots. What's been the highlight for you so far?
The highlight for me has probably been the goals that I've scored this season, because for me obviously it's great scoring, but to win the game against some tough opposition has been they've been good moments. For the Charlton goal, to be fair, I couldn't really remember what I did for the celebration. I just remember walking away and looking at my knees, and they were bleeding because I cut both the knees. Yeah.
Worth it though.
Oh yeah, 100% worth it. I'd do it again tomorrow and now. This is my place. You've had your fun. I go straight out. See ya.